Hi guys, this is Pratishtha, your IELTS trainer, and I hope everyone is doing good and has reviewed whatever we have done in the previous weeks. So, in this week, we are going to move on to some master concepts. We are going to move forward with more intermediate, like a little bit higher level than intermediate when it comes to grammar, when it comes to writing, listening, speaking, and all those sorts of activities. We will try to solve some mock tests as well. But in today's session, we are just going to review week 4 and let's get started. So here's the plan and structure and review and practice of week 4. We will review key concepts and skills. We will engage in practice activity to reinforce what we have learned. Reinforce basically means to basically look at what we have learned from before. And of course, there is always scope for any questions and doubts and to be able to clarify them. So key topics, we have an overview of what all topics were covered. So we have nouns. Nouns we did were common nouns, proper nouns, abstract nouns. I told you about tangible intangibles. Um, and yeah, that was pretty much it. When it came to pronouns, we discussed personal pronouns, relative pronouns, possessive pronouns, and reflexive pronouns, right? So all those pronouns that we did, personal pronouns were I, you, he, she. Then we had reflexive were yourself, myself, themselves. Then we had what else? We have relative pronouns, which was who, which, that, etc. And what else? I think, yeah, those were all the pronoun types. Then we had verbs. We had auxiliary verbs like be verbs, is, am, are. We had the main verbs. So essentially these two kinds of verbs. Then we did sentence structures and all of that, which will come here, right? We did listening practice. We practiced how to identify key information. We also did some real IELTS listening tests, right? I think 2 or 3 tests we did. We identified the problems, we solved questions. For reading, we did vocabulary in context, which is the major part. We tried to infer the answers. We tried to infer and understand what this particular word could mean, what this particular line could mean in that particular context. We did some writing practice. So we learned how to develop paragraphs by using an introduction or maybe a topic sentence and then explaining it more through examples. We saw how to use linking words, conjunctions, and all of that. And that was pretty much it for writing. And then we also saw how to make small essays. But of course, you will have to make like larger essays as well. For speaking practice, we did some role plays. We did different scenarios like in restaurant. Um, I think we also did at the airport, giving directions. So basic stuff like that. For speaking, we also did recently some monologues where we talked about our hobbies, what do we like to do, our daily routine, stuff like that. And in intermediate grammar, we learned tenses. So we did simple present tense, which is for everyday situations, right? Which is for habits. We did present continuous tense. So present continuous tense was ing forms, something that is continuing over a period of time. We did simple past tense, so something, that action that has ended in the past. We did past continuous, a, an ongoing action in the past, right? So was plus ing forms. Then we did simple future, an action that will happen in future, like a small action. And we also did future continuous and ongoing action in future. So we did all of these tenses and then we moved on to sentence structures. In sentence structures, we did simple sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences, complex compound sentences. We also learned subordinate and coordinating conjunctions. We also learned some clauses, independent, dependent clauses. And that was pretty much it, right? We will move and build on to these things in the further lessons. So grammar and vocabulary review. So review key grammar points, including nouns, pronouns, verbs, sentence structures. I would like you to do that, right? So all the nouns that we did, pronouns, verbs. Try to list down all the new vocabulary words that you learned and practice using them in a sentence, right? I gave you a lot of vocabulary words throughout, so I would suggest you to practice them. Work with a partner to create sentences. So, of course, like include people with you when you are practicing for IELTS. For reading and listening, read a passage from this week's material and summarize the main point. Again, we have done it in class. You can take a new passage and then try to summarize it in your own way. Listen to a recorded conversation and answer comprehension questions based on the contents, or just listen to a passage and just try to summarize whatever has been said. Summarize everything. It is exactly like the last conversation that we heard between a person inquiring for some voluntary activities. So I would suggest do that. Discuss your answer with the partner, right? And ask for criticism, ask for feedback. For writing and speaking, I would say that write a paragraph based on a given topic. Focus on your structure, focus on coherence, focus on linking words. I would also suggest you to engage in a lot of role play scenarios to practice your dialogues. Be able to create monologues. So make sure you have ideas in your mind, and ideas will, it's not that easy that, you will, it's not as easy as, it seems. I mean, you would feel that, you would just go there and speak if the person has given you the topic, but it's not as easy, right? There are some times that you will feel that, you are a little bit stuck because, again, you have that time pressure, you have the pressure of the test and all of that. I mean, those are the feelings that will come when you are there for the test. So I would suggest that preparation is really important. Feeling calm and composed is really important. The more practice you have, the better you will feel in the exam. And then you can just share your writings with everyone, ask for criticism, ask for feedback, ask how they liked it. For your grammar and vocabulary, I would suggest solve a lot of questions. There are a lot of different grammar activities that is there online. I would suggest do a lot of vocabulary things, like use that new vocabulary into your in your, I think, daily writing and speaking. That would really help you, learn and reinforce and retain whatever you have learned. Again, review yourself. Continuously reviewing is extremely great. Go through all your notes and all the exercises from this week. If you have any problem, any doubt at any point, just ask. Practice every single day. So I would suggest take time out and just like distribute your time. Let's say 30 minutes for listening, 30 minutes for reading, 30 minutes for writing, 30 minutes for speaking, 30 minutes for grammar. So about 2.5 hours to 3 hours every day, if you can give, that is A plus. But if you cannot, I mean, I would really suggest just give at least 1 hour or 1.5 hour, I guess. So instead of like this, like just half the time, and at least give 1.5 hour. And engage with English as much as you can. Listen to podcasts, audios, videos, watch a lot of them, watch English movies, listen to English songs, listen to English songs by people from different nationalities. Try to understand the accents. Accent is really important. Sometimes the thing is, we know English, but it's just the accent that we don't understand, right? Even the US accent has a lot of accents in itself. So you have like Texas accent, which is really different, right? Just try to like listen to a lot of accents. And then, of course, ask for feedback and be consistent, of course, right? Consistency is the key always, no matter what kind of exam you're going through. For homework, I would suggest review all the notes. Again, practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you will be. And I mean, just remain consistent with all of the practice, all of the reviews. Don't feel shy of asking questions, and you are good to go. So I will see you in the next sections with even harder grammar concepts, writings, and we will try to improve on those writings. So hope to see you in the next class.